Are you ready to learn more about respiration and pass your National 5 exam? Well, here's part 2 of our respiration short lesson. So, in addition to knowing the reactions that take place in respiration, you also have to know why we produce the ATP and how we produce the ATP in that respiration reaction. So first of all, let's look at some of the cellular activities that we need to produce the ATP for, okay? So there are 4 main cellular activities that you need to know about for your exam, and these are the reasons we produce ATP. So the first one is for muscle contraction. Now we need lots and lots of ATP for this because we're constantly contracting our muscles throughout the day. In fact, our biggest muscle, our heart, the one that's constantly working every single moment of our life, that needs loads of ATP. Protein synthesis. So you have already learned about protein synthesis at this stage, and you learned a little bit about how we use the DNA to code for the amino acids which make up the sequence in a protein. Okay, so we need ATP for that process. We also need ATP for cell division. Okay, and lastly, for the transmission of nerve impulses. Now this is the one that students often forget, but if you want, you can show off in your exam and remember this one, but the other 3 are probably a little bit easier. Now you usually ask for 1 or 2 of these in the exam, so it's not necessary that you learn all 4, but it's useful because sometimes the question will say muscle contraction is a use of ATP, name 1 or 2 others. So don't just bank on learning just 1, try and learn all 4 of those cellular activities. Okay, they are what we use ATP for within cells. Now how do we actually produce the ATP? How do we make the ATP that is needed? Well, there's a little reaction and you need to know about this for your exam, so make sure you learn this. And that is where ATP can be broken down into ADP plus an inorganic phosphate. Now, this is an example of a degradation reaction from our enzymes topic. But ADP and phosphate can also be synthesized together to make ATP again, okay? So this is a constant build up and breakdown reaction that happens within our body. We're constantly recycling ATP and then regenerating it and making more and more of it, because we only have about 50 grams of ATP in the body. So it's important that we have this mechanism that can quickly regenerate it so that we can use the ATP for these cellular activities within the body. So I hope that's helped you to understand why and how we produce ATP in cellular respiration, and I hope that's helped you towards passing your National 5 exam. Follow me for more. Class dismissed.